Here's an overview of the band warm-up circuit. So you're gonna start with a mid-anchored band. Just make sure it's attached nice and securely. You can even use a door anchor. And there's three main positions that will be going in. One is an outward alignment, a lateral alignment, and then an inward alignment. And on all three of these, as you're doing the band exercises, really focus on bracing the core. Try not to overly lean forward. You might have to have your weight shifted a little forward to stay balanced, but then use your core to stay up versus leaning into the band. You never want to put your body weight into the band, just enough to keep you stable. When you're facing outward, you should feel that front side, that anterior side of your core really engaging, just like if you're doing a plank. When you're facing lateral, you should start to feel the side core engage on whichever side that you're turned to. And then when you're facing inward, you should feel that back side of the core, that posterior side, really engaging and activating. Our main goal in all of these is to keep a neutral spine. We're trying to resist the urge to flex or extend or laterally bend in either direction. We're trying to lock it in and develop all the power through the shoulder, the ball and socket joints in the shoulder and the hip. So as we go through here, the first one is just a chest press with knee raise. So you're knee raising, chest pressing, and this one's really going to engage the front of the core. If I pause right here, even with both feet down, that's very similar to a plank. I feel that whole front of my core engaging. I'm just adding that knee raise just to work the balance and get more of the neuromuscular system activated as I'm going through this. The breath is exhale out, inhale back, exhale and inhale. And you can flow with this one for about 16 reps, 30 seconds or so, 8 per side, just till you feel a bit of fatigue. Then we're gonna do the exact opposite. So facing the anchor point, inward alignment, we go thumb up position, then exhale as you knee raise, row the band back, squeezing the upper back muscles, back side of the shoulder and the biceps. That good squeeze between the shoulder blades. And again, same thing on this one. You can do about 16 reps, 8 per side, alternating the leg. Good, exhale up, inhale down. Good, from there, we're gonna go to a forward step or lunge with a chest fly. So you start out a little bit in front of the body. You step out or lunge out and open, step back and close. After your foot lands, try not to slide forward. Try and lower down like an elevator and then step back. So you step out, open, and step back, alternating the foot. On this exercise, the band resistance is gonna stay relatively the same. So this one a little slower. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Again, it can be about 16 reps, 8 per side, or until you feel a good amount of fatigue in the chest. And then we'll turn it around, inward alignment again. Exact same thing with the back fly. So you're facing it, get locked in the core, stepping forward, carry the weight to the front foot and do a back fly. As you land forward, land on the heel, shift the weight to the whole foot. Same when you're facing the other direction. Try to land on that heel and then spread the weight out throughout that whole foot as you shift the weight forward. This one you want to feel a nice squeeze through the shoulder blades. You have a little bend in the elbows. Good, make sure you carry that weight to the front foot just before you pull. You should feel a nice chest opener there. Again, 16 reps, about 8 per side. Then we're gonna go to one band and do a squat pattern with the Pallof press. This one's lateral alignment, so straight out to the side. Starting that squat with the hip hinging down, sink down, keep the knees out. As you come up, you press, and you're trying to keep the band lined up with the midline. If you have a zipper on your jacket, you keep it right in line with that. It's an anti-rotation exercise. Inhale down, exhale up. I'm trying to not let my body turn this way. I'm trying to resist that force, brace the spine. This one you can do about 10 reps on. And then you want to switch the side, face this way. Same, inhale down, exhale up. Really drive that power out of the ground, transfer it through the stiffened core, and have it end up through the shoulders into the hands to get that nice press. Good, and again, this one's gonna be lateral core. So if you're facing this way, it's gonna be this side of the core, and then this side all the way down through the leg. Now we're gonna face inward, and we're going to do, again, that forward step where you wanna land on the heel, carry the weight into the foot. This one's a little tricky coordination-wise, but you're gonna take the left hand down, so whichever leg's back, you take that hand down, other hand comes up. Almost like you're making a diagonal, like part of an X shape, and then you bring it in, and then you step and switch. Whichever leg goes forward, that arm goes up, the other arm goes down. If you were to take a picture here and a picture here, it should form an X, and you won't feel that good squeeze through the shoulder blades that whole way. Same mechanics before on that step forward. Just good exhale, inhale, and exhale. This one is another one where it can be about 16 reps, 8 per side. You know, and all these, you don't have to go too heavy, just enough to start to feel it, feel the body waking up. 2, let's do one more. 1, good. We're gonna go back to a single band, lateral alignment. We're gonna get the inside leg forward. So again, I'm gonna have to really use this right side of my core. Same pressing motion as before that, Pallof press. Inhale down, and then exhale up, down, and then up. Really stabilizing with that inside leg. You can power up at the top. You may start a little slower with the motions, and then you can begin to add some speed to them as you feel your body warming up. This one, 10 reps, 12 reps. You start to feel it in that right side of the body, and then you switch. So again, inside leg forward, outside leg back. Think like an elevator, down and up. We don't want the knee going forward on this one. We'll keep that knee in line with the toes, and just sink and then power up and through. 2 and 1. Good, now facing the anchor point again. We're gonna do a hinge and then pull the hands to the side, almost like a ski type motion, so a bit more of a narrow stance. You inhale up, then exhale, pulling straight down to the sides. Start to feel this one working to the lats. This one can be about 15 reps. You can really get good power into it. If you notice, my hips go back, the knees don't really go forward here. Nice hip hinge from a narrow base. Make sure no rounding of the back as you go through. 2 and 1. Then coming back to a press pattern, facing outside. Squat with the press right here. Inhale down, exhale, presses go up. This is a nice one where you can feel that power generated out of the ground, goes through the legs, your core is locked in, transport through the core, into the shoulders, into the hands. So that whole connect chain gets involved. This one you can almost imagine at the mid bone, you're throwing it forward. Good, inhale down, exhale up. Again, right there, feel that core really engage, like you're in a high plank on the ground. Turn around, same thing with the row. Inhale down, exhale. This one can be a bit more of a hinge, so a little hinge down, and you pull through. Hinge, and then pull through. Hinge, pull through. The weight on almost all of these, you want to spread out throughout that whole foot. On this one, in fact, we can go thumbs up here. As you pull back, let's get the palms up. That little rotation as you go through. The weight is spread out throughout that whole foot. If you think 3 points of contact, one near the pinky, the big toe, and the heel, but depending on the direction you're facing, you'll have to brace against it. So on this one, I'm having to add a little bit more weight to the heels so I don't go forward. If you're facing the other direction, you have to keep a little more weight forward in the foot. 2 and 1. Get almost there. We're going to turn out this way. Do a belt hold. So you're bringing it around the hips. Don't get it too high here. Right on the hips, right where they're going to crease. Pure hip hinge. You just hip hinge back. Body folds, no rounding the back. And then pull through and squeeze your glutes. Down and up. Inhale. And exhale. Very good. As you get used to this one, you can do that little technique where you externally rotate out the feet, but keep the big toe planted so you drive those knees out. That will help your glutes engage against the ground. You feel a little arch form up in the foot. About 10 on this one. Then you go a single leg pattern. At first you might need that toe down, but keep that back foot light. It's all that front hip. You'll carry the weight into the front leg, hinge the hip back, squeeze the glute forward, and get into that full hip extension. Careful not to overextend. You want to just get up so your body's vertical. Really feel the glute. Eventually, if you feel safe with the balance, you can take that foot off and push the heel back and get a straight leg. More like a standard single leg RDL pattern, but be careful with that one. Have support nearby if needed. Shake the legs out, switch the leg. Left side now. Inhale down, exhale up. Squeezing the glute again. You can leave that back foot down for stability, or you can drive it back as you feel safe and stable. This one actually can be a little slower. You can go slow once you feel warmed up. Get a little speed with it. Almost more like a golf move as you add speed, but start slow, especially with this one because of the balance component. After you do right and left side, do one more time the doubles, just to balance out the hips. Anytime you do a single side, it's good to come back to the doubles to bring some symmetry back to the region. So inhale down, exhale up. Think kettlebell swing here, but you have a horizontal pull instead of a more vertical pull of a kettlebell. 2 and 1. Fantastic. Great work. And again, the main goal on that one, warming up all the primary movement patterns, bracing the core, and then developing the power out of the shoulder and the hip joints. Nice.